Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at another third-party auction vehicle. This one's been doctored up, but not all third-party auction vehicles have been doctored up. Now, if you don't know what a third-party auction vehicle is, it's one that's up at auction that is not offered by an insurance company. Now, the ones that have been doctored up, they usually come from other auctions, from insurance companies. They're brought back to a shop where they doctor them up, not to actually do any kind of repairs, just to make them look a little bit better for the pictures. Usually they're just trying to cover things up. So that's what we're going to take a look at today. However, there are other cases where third-party auction vehicles do show up in the auction, and we'll get to those in future videos. So let's take a look at our vehicle for today. Today's vehicle is a 2021 GMC Sierra 1500 four-wheel drive with a short box. It's offered by our favorite sellers in Miami. Key is present, no miles, and it doesn't run. We know it's a third-party auction car because there is no seller down here. And how do we know it's from our favorite sellers? Well, you guys know if you've been here before. If you don't, hang tight. I'll show you. So, definitely looks like it was hitting the front end here. This was a replaced fender for sure. So they're probably trying to hide something under here. And I told you how we'd know it was our favorite sellers. Well, there you go. The entire box of drywall screws used to hold this thing together. They didn't even bother to put the moldings back on the fender after they replaced it. It looks like a new grill, didn't buy the emblem. Hood looks like it might have a little damage back here. Hard to tell from these pictures. We definitely got something going on with the frame back here. This gap is closed up at the top and wide at the bottom, so the bed likely went forward, meaning it was probably a pretty hard hit in the front end. This is also a new fender, and it looks like the paint peeled off of here. Definitely have damage in the back of the hood, so I'm guessing they just got a junk hood and threw it on there. We have a new tire over here, probably the spare tire. We have no wheel liner. A little damage on the running board here. There's some damage on the back of the cab where the bed went into it. Surprised that back window isn't broken, although they might have changed it. Definitely took a hard hit in the front end to fold this thing up like a taco. And it's even worse on this side, so this running board's damaged as well. So it's hit more on this side than it is on the driver's side. Both are pretty bad. Our driver airbag deployed, and that steering wheel looks to be a little shorter than it's supposed to be. They do telescope and tilt, although I think that one telescoped a little more than it should have. Somebody wasn't wearing their seatbelt. Okay, we definitely have some pretty good damage in here. That water pump looks destroyed. Not really all the best pictures. Radiator condenser. This looks like it used to be over the water pump. So this was all the way back to there. So it took a good hit in the front end. Looks like we got some damage up there. Definitely on this apron and rail. No dash emojis, no mileage, no nothing. I'm sure if we had some power there, we'd have all this stuff. There's our VIN. Okay, we definitely have some firewall damage here. We have no cowl screen, no wiper arms, missing the whole transmission and everything over here. This thing took a hard hit. Did have a key and a fob. And this is looking pretty bad under here. So I'm thinking they changed the windshield. Judging by this way it's fitting up here, they definitely changed the windshield and the back glass. I guess we can see if we can see the inside. Yeah, that steering column definitely looks pushed in. Missing our rearview mirror.
It doesn't look like the passenger airbag deployed or the seats. So we are going to need a seatbelt on that side. Probably one on that side as well. So let's put it in the Google machine and see what we get. Well, we didn't get a whole lot. We got the current auction, and that's it. It's never been through the auction before, or they found a way to delete it from the auction, which I did find some pictures of this earlier, and I can't find them now, so I'm thinking that might be the case. So before they send these to the auction, they actually list them on their website and put them for sale at their dealership. So they have no problem scamming you to your face. And I don't want to say their name, but I'm pretty sure if you look around a little bit, you might be able to find it. It's just right there in front of you. I don't know. And it is available on Craigslist for both of you that still use Craigslist. They sell on eBay as well, and they have a stellar rating for just about everything that they sell their cars on, as you can imagine. A 1.9 rating here. So this is one we would definitely want to take a look at in person, just to see how bad it really is. So, well, let's go do that. Of course, we're going to start at the drywall screws, which is not very difficult to do since they put them everywhere. So they screwed everything, the bumper, into our headlights. So if the headlights were any good, they're no longer good. They went with the zip tie on that one. Just lift up on the hood. There's no latch. And we can definitely see that radiator support's been straightened out, as well as the firewall. That's the wiper transmission, well, at least what's left of it, shoved back into the cowl that goes underneath the windshield. They must have changed the windshield. There's no way that survives, so this is a new windshield. Get a better look at our radiator support. So it definitely needs everything in front of the A-pillars. And I mean everything. There's some damage there on our water pump from where the radiator hit it. It was wrapped around it. Gotta switch hands here. Maybe we can see how bad that rail is all the way back at the cowl. Now we got some zip ties holding our grill to the headlight. Nice color match on the fender there. A little damage on the edge of the door from where they opened the door into the old fender. And now for the good part. Looks like they found a can of undercoating. And that frame is complete junk. And if it wasn't bad enough there, just wait. Can't straighten them, but that didn't stop them from trying. They just ripped this thing to shreds trying to pull it out. Sprayed some undercoating on it and called it good. And there's a big gap under here. The radiator and condenser were both pretty squished, so they're flattened out. The cooling fan is totally busted and gone. I believe these are supposed to have shutters, which, well, they're not there anymore either. A little damage on our hood. That is the original hood. And of course our replacement fender on this side that the paint's peeling off of. A little damage on our running board. Don't see anything underneath here, although I do see some damage on that drive shaft. Get a better look at that drive shaft there. It's got a nice dent in it. So that's going to have to be replaced. And we got some damage on the back of our cab. And we got a shorty steering column. Slow profile. Somebody wasn't wearing their seatbelt. and they ate the steering wheel, shoved it all the way into the dash. Seatbelts are deployed. It looks like they were wearing it. It must have been really close to the steering wheel then. And what do we have here? Looks like Scammer Pond. Well, it looks like that new windshield that they installed is leaking. We don't have a rear view mirror. Maybe it got washed off in the flood. And they cut out our curtain airbag, so this curtain airbag did deploy. We'll tuck that back up there. Don't see any tears in the headliner. Maybe the headliner is reusable. Ooh, we got a bed full of bonus junk. Looks like all the old parts, the old airbags, everything they took off there, they just threw in the back. I guess they're too cheap to pay for a dumpster. See all the damage on the back of our bed there. In front of our bed, back of our cab. So usually they look like that when they get rear-ended. The seller needs to use parking blocks like they use drywall screws. I didn't see anything wrong with the drivetrain. There is a drive shaft in it. I think it just wouldn't go into park because that steering column's collapsed. Some damage on this back bumper, so it wasn't a middle car that pushed all that forward. It hit something so hard with the front end, this thing just folded up like a taco. So that back window is probably busted out. They probably replaced that. It's probably leaking as well. Little overspray on the molding, and the paint peeled off when they peeled the tape off the fender. Apparently their paint isn't any better than the rest of their work. So I said I did get a picture to pop up. There's only one I can find because I am not going to sit here and search for all these because I don't care. I really know how bad it was. They definitely did change the back glass. We can see this is the same truck. It's got the same ripped off vent visor over here. It's got a bug shield up there. Our fenders are folded over. There's the reason we had a tire put on it. So yes, this is the same truck, but it's not anywhere else. I did remember seeing some other pictures and it was hit pretty hard in the front end. I guess I should have made the video then, but I was busy. Thought I'd come back to it. Guess you got to jump on them right away because they have definitely found a way to get these off the internet, at least in the quick searches. The internet is forever. So somebody a little more tech savvy than I would need to find these. Good luck to these guys. Hopefully they get their $10,900. I think they would be crazy not to take. I don't know what they paid for it, but here's the picture of it listed on Craigslist. This is at their building. All the pictures are pretty much taken in this location.
This truck took a pretty hard hit. It's definitely a parts truck. It's not repairable, even though they tried to make it look like it was. I mean, as far as parts go, you got a bed, a tailgate. Actually, the front of the bed is even destroyed. So a bed that needs some work, a tailgate, rear bumper, rear end, couple wheels and tires, few doors, and maybe some interior parts. And whatever sheet metal they put on the front end, it's still good. But that's really all you're getting for the money that you're paying. By the time you tried to fix this thing, putting a front end, mechanical stuff that it needs, a frame, back of the cab, airbags, interior parts, you put all that stuff into it, you might as well just buy a new truck. It's not a fancy truck, just a work truck basically. So yeah, it's not worth that much. I would have liked to see the before pictures, and I kind of did. When I looked at them a couple days before I made that video, there were actually a couple more pictures. I don't know where they went to. If there's somebody that's tech savvy and wants to spend some time, VIN number's in the description. Go ahead and look them up. Email them to me, and maybe I'll make a follow-up video and show you what it looked like. You can pay for sites that are going to look up the history, but I'm not really interested in this truck. Just making a video to show you what's out there. We got to see this one in person, so we kind of know how bad it was. I don't know that it even would show up in some of those auction sites because that one that I used said it's only been through auction one time. But because it came from a different state and it has a salvage title, I'm inclined to think it did go through another auction. And if it did, kind of scary that they can get it deleted. So maybe that's something else to watch out for. Maybe that's a new trick that they've come up with. So if you guys do find it, let me know. I'll do a follow-up video on this. Can't say that I know exactly what's going on with this one. All I know is I'm not interested in it. So I'll have some more videos of my trip to Miami and some of the other vehicles I looked at coming up. So if you want to see more like this, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh- I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh- I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.